Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Maite, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me at Maite Bates, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, what I don't tell people in my other videos is hit that notification bell, because your girl has been super consistent and these videos are coming. They're consistent, they're coming, okay? 2 to 3 times a week. That is the goal. Anyways, as you can see by this title, this has been a topic that so many of my followers on Instagram DM me about. They want me to talk about they want me to talk about it. They want me to elaborate on it. They want advice. They want suggestions. So that is exactly what I'm going to do today here. So I'll be giving you advice, whether you're a Christian single or not a Christian single. This is for all my single people, even my divorced people, even my people that are in a relationship dating. And it might be for those of you that are married and are having some difficulties as well. So today I'm going to give you 5 tips on what to do during your single season. And these are my opinions. No need to judge. If you have a opinion, feel free to comment below and we can start a discussion. I'll also be bringing it over to my Instagram so we can have that discussion in my stories, and I might even do a live on it. Not sure yet, but yes, so let's get right into it. I have 5 tips for a single that is just waiting, okay? So tip number 1 is take time for yourself and to get to know yourself. So what I mean by that is simply take time to understand who you are before getting into a relationship. So I'll give you a little background story. Before I met my now husband, Eric, I was celibate for almost 2 years, and I was single for about the same time. I took that time to journal a whole lot and just get my feelings out on paper and express myself on paper and just really get to know myself and understand what issues I was dealing with, what I was lacking. So I was able to just get to know myself, like get to know what irks me, get to know my pet peeves, really jot down what I didn't like in my previous relationships and understand why I didn't like it. Was it just personal reason? Was it childhood trauma that caused these dislikes, etc.? So there's just so much to learn about yourself before you become one with someone else, and even after the fact, you're going to continuously be learning yourself. So that is tip number 1. Again, take time for yourself and get to know yourself in that season, okay? Tip number 2, write down what you want and what you don't want and what you are willing to compromise on. So years ago, I'm talking about 2013, I wrote down what I wanted in a relationship and in a man, and I still have that list. So that is what you need to do as far as writing down what you want. So if you want a tall guy, if you want a working guy, if you want an entrepreneur kind of guy, if you want a single dad, if you don't mind a single dad, nothing wrong with single dads. And if some men are watching this, if you don't mind a single mom either. If you want a man without tattoos, if you want a man with nice teeth, blah blah blah. I'm not saying you're gonna get this perfect guy, like it doesn't work out like that, but I wrote down exactly what I was looking for in a guy. And when I met Eric, I looked over my list and he was like almost 98% of everything on that list, like literally, right? Then you want to write down what you don't want, what you're not willing to compromise on. So if you don't want a lazy guy, if you don't want someone with debt, if you don't want someone who doesn't have a job, if you don't want someone who parties all night, if you don't want someone who has social media, that's actually something that I put on my list. I didn't want anyone with social media because I felt like I've seen so many relationships be destroyed because of social media. So yeah, my husband had a lot of social media. But that was not a deal breaker for me. And the last thing is what you're willing to compromise on. So for example, if you have someone with debt, are you seeing their habits while you're dating? Like, are they working on paying it off? Are they ignoring it? Do they make late payments and little things like that? Have you been to this person's house? Are they clean? Are they messy? Is that something you're willing to compromise on? Are you a neat freak? Will you go crazy with someone that's messy? Things like that. Is their car clean? Is their car messy? And I keep saying messy and clean and stuff like that because that's something that I'm not willing to compromise on. Like, when I was dating Eric, I went to his apartment and it was always clean, and I was like, okay, I see you. Like, I love things to be clean. Like, yeah, some days I might let the dishes pile up, but at the end of the day, I am, you know, gonna clean my kitchen, squeaky clean. My house always has to be clean, and little things like that. What else is something you might and might not be willing to compromise on? Hygiene. Like, that is something I'm not willing to compromise on. Like, you might love someone and you might kiss them in the morning, but that's about it, okay? Hygiene is something I'm not willing to compromise on, no matter how good you look. Spending habits. That is another thing you have to be understanding of the other person. Are you willing to compromise on someone who's a shopaholic, or someone who's stingy, or someone who doesn't keep track of things, someone who's always losing their debit card? Like, I don't know, but that irks me. Like, I know someone who's always losing their debit card, and that irks me to another level. So that is not something I am willing to compromise on, because I feel like I have like some kind of anxiety, and little things like that drive me nuts. Like, when I lose something, I feel like the world is about to end. So yes. So just a little recap. Tip number 1 is take time for yourself and get to know yourself. Tip number 2 is write down what you want, what you don't want, and what you are willing to compromise on. And tip number 3, write down your long and short-term goals so that you have something to focus on. So when I was in my single season, I wrote down my long and my short-term goals. And I remember even after the fact of dating Eric, I had those papers taped on my apartment door in my bedroom, and I would always look at them, and if I met one of those goals, I'll cross it out even after the fact. Now I have those goals in my journal, and although I haven't been super consistent on looking back at them, I still kind of have them in my head. But actually, now that I'm talking about it out loud, I need to just go back and just be more consistent at looking at my goals so that I have a clear, you know, mindset of where I'm headed and where I want to go. So yeah, write down your long and your short-term goals. That way you're in your single season, you have something to focus on other than, oh my gosh, I want a man, oh my gosh, I want a girlfriend, okay? And those long-term goals will meet you in your relationship. That way, when you're married, you're not only focused on my man, my marriage, my man, my marriage. You have your personal goals that you're trying to reach. For example, some of my short-term goals were to pay off my first car, which I did, pay off my credit card, which I did, buy furniture, which I did, and this was when I was in my apartment. Some of my long-term goals were buy a house, buy a Range Rover, which I still haven't bought, but I think that has changed to a G-Wagon. I still kind of want an all-black Range Rover, but I do want a G-Wagon, and that is now part of my short-term goal because, sis, I need one before my mid-30s, okay? So that's the goal. Goals like saving $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, that's still a part of my short, kind of medium, long-term goals. What other goals do I have? Starting a business, which I have started too. What else? One of my long short-term goals that I really been procrastinating on is getting my cosmetology license. So that's definitely in the works for the next few, months, years. And yeah, that's tip number 3. Write down your long and short-term goals so that you have something to focus on. Tip number 4. Whether you believe in God or not, focus on your relationship with God, okay? And your well-being. If you do not believe in God, sis, this is me telling you, get to it. No, I'm kidding. Not kidding, actually. But focusing on God will allow you the mental and spiritual space to dig deep into your childhood traumas, past relationship traumas, the way you were raised, friendship traumas. Connecting with God will so open up your eyes in a way that you'd be so surprised. And what's an example that I can give you? So during my single season, I really took so much personal time in studying the Bible, listening to sermons, reading books that really helped me just focus on my spiritual well-being. And I was able to really analyze some relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, family relationships that I had that made me realize what I didn't want to bring into my marriage or into my dating relationship, and what I didn't want to bring into my parenthood. So that's as simple as I can make that tip. Focus on your spiritual well-being so that you can be in a better headspace whenever you get into a relationship. Okay? And lastly, this is a tip that might offend some people, but it should not offend you. We are trying to normalize therapy in the Black community. So I didn't do it. I wish I did it. Go to therapy. If you're single, go to therapy. If you feel like you have anxiety issues, go to therapy. If you've gone through depression, are going through depression, might go through depression, go to therapy. Going through therapy before marriage is something I wish I would have done, because after getting married, after becoming a mom, is when all of my triggers amplified. All of my triggers amplified to a different level, because I was like in a lion, bear, mama bear mode when it comes to my daughter. I'm still there, honestly, and that's a conversation for a whole new video. Hold on, my battery's about to die. Okay, focus. Sorry, my battery died. Anywho, yeah, so like I was saying, I'm like in super protective mode over my child, because after having her, my eyes opened to a level where I'm like, wow, I can't believe people have done me this dirty. I can't believe family, friends, best friends for over 12, 15 years have treated me in such a way that I'm like, whoa, maybe I should have went to therapy for all of these things, because I'm the type of person that ignores and just like totally blocks out anything that hurts me, okay? And that's one of my toxic traits that I need to work on. And it's funny, but it's not funny. Anyways, yeah, so yes, go to therapy and you'll see what a huge difference that will make, whether you're single, in a relationship, married, or divorced, or thinking about getting married. Whatever stage of life you are in, therapy is going to just help you work through those issues. And I started going to a therapist. I went once to her. I didn't really like how rushed I felt. So I'm definitely in search of a new therapist. And I need to like stop procrastinating and just find one, because there are just some issues that I want to work through before my child gets to the age where she's really gonna notice. You know what I'm saying? So yes, this video has been a long time coming. And if you found any of these tips helpful, please comment below. Let me know what you think, what you plan on doing, what stage of life you are in, and how this video has helped you. Come back months, years later, and let me know how this video has helped you. I really enjoy giving advice, and I feel like my advice is reasonable, doable, relatable. I'm not like, I am a super optimistic person, but I'm also a realist. So when it comes to advice, I'm straight to the point. I don't beat around the bush, okay? So if you have any questions related to this topic, feel free to comment below or DM me on Instagram. Most people feel safer DMing me on Instagram. Again, it's at MyTayBates, to have these conversations, and I'm so open, more than welcome to DM me if you have any of these relatable questions, whatever the case may be. So really quick, I'm just gonna go over these 5 tips, and I'll put them down below in the description box. Tip number 1 is take time for yourself and get to know yourself. Tip number 2, write down what you want, what you don't want, and what you are willing to compromise. Tip number 3, write down your long and short-term goals so that you have something to focus on. Tip number 4, focus on your relationship with God and your well-being for your spiritual health. Okay? And tip number 5, let's normalize it, please. Go to therapy. Find a therapist, call your insurance company, ask them what therapist you're eligible for so that you would not have to pay or just pay a $25 to $50 copayment, and get to it, whether you're a male, a female, in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, 50s, 60s, okay? Please. Anyways, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I love doing talking videos a lot more than most videos. I really enjoyed giving you guys these 5 tips, and if you want a part 2 on anything related to your single season, married, in a relationship, please comment below, let me know, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever my next video comes out, and share this with any of your friends. Please share, post it on your Instagram, text it to your friend, just share it so that this video can bless someone else. And I'll see you guys in my comment section and in my next video. Until next time, bye.